Hello friends, welcome to the first episode of 1 Degree Change, a continuous learning program for the pharmacists. And we are starting this 1 Degree Change with a very important topic, that is insulin preparations. In whole world, around 415 millions of people are diabetic. 1 out of 11 is diabetic. So, as a community pharmacist, diabetic patients are the one major class. Patient counseling is very important in the case of diabetic patients because any small error happen in the treatment of diabetes, like dosage error or dose calculation, all these will affect the patient's health and maybe it will lead to the very chronic conditions like hypoglycemia. So sometime it will threaten the life of patient. So it is a responsibility of a pharmacist to give a correct patient's counseling or correct information about the medicines and the treatment and the administration and dose calculating everything to the patients in a very proper manner. So for that it is very essential, each and every retail pharmacist must know all the aspect about the insulin or the anti-diabetic preparations. Nowadays for the treatment of diabetes, majorly 3 types of preparations we are using. One is oral glycemic medicines like oral hypoglycemic agents like metformin, and second is the insulin preparations, and third one is other injectables like Victoza, Biduron, Trulicity, like that products. So in one episode we cannot cover all these things, and so today we are discussing the basic information about the insulin. Mainly 5 types of insulin preparations we are using in the for the treatment of diabetic mellitus, and that are rapid acting insulin and intermediate acting insulin, short acting insulin and long acting insulin, and 5th one is a mixed insulin. Today we are going directly to the basic things about the basic knowledge about commonly about all the insulin preparations. And in our pharmacy we have 3 types of insulin medicines are available. One is vials. All vials is coming with ampules. Vials is coming with 10 ml of insulin, and each 1 ml contain 100 unit of insulin. So all the vials, the example like Mixtard 30, Humulin, all these vials coming with 10 ml of insulin preparations, and each ml contain 100 unit of insulin. And so for the calculation of the vial, always we have to calculate it according to this. And the second type of insulin preparation is the cartridge. Cartridge is like Mixtard 30 is coming as a cartridge, and Lantus is coming as a cartridge. Cartridge is the pre-filled insulin in a cartridge, and this cartridge have to insert it in the pen. And this cartridge, all the cartridge is coming with the 3 ml of insulin preparation, and each 1 ml contain 100 unit of insulin. And this for the using of cartridge, all cartridge is not suit for all the pen, and each company is recommending a particular pen for a particular cartridge. So patient must buy the pen separate, and he can use this pen as a by refilling the new cartridge. And always take the very important care, like all insulin cartridge will not suit for all pen for the cartridge. So that selection is always take care. And third type of insulin preparation is pre-filled insulin pens. That is, nowadays it is very common. Lot of pre-filled insulin, Lantus, Humalog Mix, like a very big category of Novomix, like that very big number of types of pre-filled insulin pens are available. All the pre-filled insulin pen coming with a 3 ml of insulin, and each 1 ml contain 100 unit of insulin. So next is a very important thing about the insulin is the storage of insulin preparations. All the insulin preparations coming in the market must be stored in refrigerator in 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, not in the freezer. If by mistake somebody keep the insulin in the freezer, it must be discarded. It cannot use for further. So all the insulin must be stored in 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. And very important thing, the using pen, the pen already using pen can store in the room temperature. In another way, we can tell all the insulin preparation we can store in the room temperature for 28 days. 28 days we can store all insulin in the room temperature. That's why the using pen is recommending to store in the room temperature for 1 month, and the non-using pen we can store in the refrigerator 2 to 8 degree. Here two important questions. One is why insulin must store in the refrigerator, and another thing, why using pen is stored in the room temperature or room temperature. Insulin must store in the refrigerator because insulin is a protein. Basically it is a protein, and this protein must easily contaminated by the bacteria, and this bacteria will break down the protein, and if once contamination happen, this potency or this insulin preparation will damage and cannot use more, and that is the reason this insulin must keep in the refrigerator. And another thing, why these insulin preparations or the using pen can store in the room temperature for 28 days, because of the problem of contamination. All the insulin preparations coming with a preservative, and this preservative can protect the insulin maximum for 28 days. That is the reason all the insulin preparation that using pen can store in the room temperature, but maximum for 28 days, and after 28 days any insulin remaining in the pen or the ampule or the cartridge, it must discard, cannot use, and he have to take the new pen from the refrigerator. Another important thing about the insulin pharmacist must take care is the dispensing the correct quantity of pens or cartridge or vial. This is because when we are giving a medicine or the insulin for 90 or 1 month for a longer period of time, patient is expecting until that day he have the medicine, and at any case maybe he is traveling or anything, any shortage for a single dose is happened because of the error from the pharmacist, it will make a big trouble to the patient. Maybe he cannot buy at that time, maybe he is traveling or like that. We have to make sure you are giving a correct quantity of the insulin while dispensing. And another thing, for the calculating the pens, how many pen or how many vial or how many cartridge we have to give, always make sure that patient have to inject a full dose at a one injection, not like 10 unit from one pen and 2 unit or 10 unit from another pen. It is not recommending normally, so always calculating accordingly, like patient have to cover the whole duration with the sufficient amount of insulin. So calculating the number of units, number of units means number of pens or number of cartridge or number of vial is very important. So calculating the quantity of the insulin pen and the pre-filled insulin pen and the cartridge, always calculate like the dose per day, even if it is 90 or something, what is the dose per day. And one insulin pen contains 300 unit, so 300 divided by what is the dose per day, then you will get one pen can use for how many days. Then we have to we have to check how many days, what is the duration of treatment. Even if it is for 90 days, 90 divided by x, that value we previously got, then you can get how many pen we have to give it to the patient. This is always take care that, because why it is in, we have to calculate it in this way, otherwise sometime patient have to take in the last time any small quantity of insulin will left in the pen or the cartridge and he cannot use it that, so at the end of the day he will miss 1 or 2 dose. So it never happen. So take care to avoid this error. And in the case of vial, each vial, already I told that each vial is coming with a 10 ml of insulin and 1 ml contain 100 units. So one vial contain 1000 unit of insulin and calculated accordingly. Means 1000 divided by what is the daily dose, you will get a value x, and then look what is the total duration of the treatment. Even if you divide by x, you will get the value like how many vial or how many vial we have to dispense. So this is all about the basic information about the insulin, and coming days we will discuss the more detail about the different aspect of the insulin. Thank you for watching my video.